Long time ago, in a village surrounded by deep forest lived an old woman named Mama Amaka. She was known in the village for her kindness and for the songs she hummed while working in her garden. One dry season, the village well went empty. Mama Amaka had to walk farther than she had ever walked before to find water. Deep in the forest, she stumbled upon a small hidden spring, clear and bubbling. Beside it lay a large calabash gourd, half buried in the earth, its skin etched with strange symbols. When she bent to fetch water, the calabash rolled slightly and a soft voice whispered, "Do not leave me here. Carry me home." Mama Amaka gasped. "Who is there?" She shouted and looked around, but saw no one. She thought she was imagining things when the calabash whispered again, "Old woman, take me with you. Care for me and I will care for you." The old woman shivered, but her heart was not afraid. "If you are a good spirit, come with me. If not, stay." She washed the calabash, filled it with water and carried it back to the village. From that day on, the spring never dried up for her, and her garden flourished. She kept the calabash covered with a cloth and only used it for special water, never for ordinary chores. In another village not too far from Mama Amaka's village lived her daughter Amaka, who lived happily with her husband Obinna. She was heavily pregnant at that time. Months later, Amaka died during childbirth, leaving behind a small baby girl named Choma. Obinna, Choma's father, could not care for her and took her to Mama Amaka and said, "Mama, please raise her. I am lost without my wife." Mama Amaka accepted the baby. "Choma will be mine now," she said. She tied the child on her back, humming old songs of the forest. Years later, Choma grew into a lively, curious girl with bright eyes and endless questions. She loved following her grandmother around the compound, asking about everything. "Why does the lizard have red hair? Why do parrots always talk? Why does our neighbor Mama Ifoma always chase the goats with a stick? Why does the cat feces smell like mine?" Mama Amaka shook her head and said, "I'll only give an answer to the last question, which is why cat feces smells like yours. It is because, my dear, you are curious just like a cat. And do you know what kills a cat?" Choma shook her head. "No." Mama Amaka nodded and whispered, "Curiosity." "It does?" Choma asked with wide eyes. "Yes, and not all questions have answers." One rainy evening, Choma was sweeping the hut when she noticed a large calabash covered with a faded cloth. "Grandma, why do you always keep this calabash hidden?" Choma asked. Mama Amaka's face grew serious. "Child, this is no ordinary calabash. It is old and powerful. Never touch it without my permission." But Chioma's curiosity piqued. Sometimes, late at night, she thought she heard faint humming from under the cloth. One afternoon, when Mama Amaka was at the farm, Chioma entered her hut and lifted the cloth. The calabash glowed faintly. "Hello?" And to her shock, a gentle voice replied, "Hello, Chioma. I have been waiting for you." Chioma dropped the cloth and stumbled back. You can talk?" "Yes," the calabash said. "I am older than this village. Your grandmother saved me from the forest, and in return I protect her." Chioma's heart pounded. "Will you hurt me?" "No, if only you keep our secret." She promised and covered it again. But every day after that, she felt it calling to her. Weeks passed. Chioma began visiting the calabash secretly, asking it questions. Why do the children tease me at school? Because they do not know your worth. One day they will. Why is my grandma poor? She is rich in ways you cannot see yet. Sometimes the calabash sang old songs in a language Chioma didn't know. She tried to hum them but could never quite match the tune. She wanted to tell her friends about the magical calabash but remembered the warning. One day, her best friend Ekene visited. Chioma couldn't resist bragging. She whispered, "Come and see, we have a calabash that talks." But when she pulled the cloth, the calabash was silent. Ekene laughed at her. You are lying," she said and ran off. The calabash whispered later that night, "Chioma, you broke your promise. Do not speak of me again, or there will be consequences." Chioma trembled. "I'm sorry." Soon, rumors started. Children said Chioma was strange, talking to objects. Some elders warned Mama Amaka, but she simply said, "The child is curious. Leave her be." One market day, Chioma overheard two women saying, "Mama Amaka's garden is too green for the dry season." Chioma blurted, "It is the calabash. It makes everything grow." The women stared at her. "What calabash?" they asked. Chioma clapped her hands over her mouth. "Nothing," she said and ran home. That night, the calabash glowed bright red. The voice was no longer gentle. "You have betrayed me again." Chioma's lip tingled. She tried to speak, but no words came. Her mouth sealed shut, just like in the tales of the old. Mama Amaka found her granddaughter the next morning, eyes wide with fear, lips sealed like clay. She understood at once. Kneeling before the calabash, she spoke. "Ancient One, forgive the girl. She's only but a child." The calabash answered. "Respect was promised. Twice she broke it. What will you offer me for her release?" Mama Amaka gathered the elders under the great Odum tree. They brought palm wine, white cloth, ground cola, and a white cock. They sang the old songs of the forest, drumming softly until the first light of dawn. As the cock's blood touched the earth, the calabash glow softened. "Let the child learn," it said, "but let her speak again." Chioma's lips unsealed. She gasped, tears running down her cheek as she buried her face in her grandmother's lap. Mama Amaka stroked her hair. "You have learned now, child. Sacred things are not for boasting." Chioma nodded silently. From that day on, Chioma never spoke of the calabash again. She helped her grandmother tend to the garden, bringing food to the poor and water to the thirsty. Sometimes, late at night, she still heard the calabash humming, but now she only bowed her head and whispered, "Thank you," and the calabash, softer than before, would answer, "Grow wise, little one. One day, you will inherit my songs." The moral lesson of this story is that some gifts are not for showing off. Respect, humility, and secrecy can protect a blessing. Pride and carelessness can silence your voice. Thank you for watching my video to the end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more African tales. Until next time, may your path be blessed.